I hate this movie. Like, I hate this movie, and it's all Dan's fault. Everything about this is Dan's fault. And we can start with that. But welcome.
Wait. I didn't pick Bela Lugosi. Well, maybe, okay, you probably picked Bela Lugosi because of it.
But I guess we should start from the beginning. We're going out of order here because
of me.
No. About 20 years ago, I want to say 20 years. I was trying to time it. I remember it was when I was singing at the Tropicana. So I remember I was going back and forth from Vegas during this time, because I remember some of the plot points had a lot to do with Vegas. And so I was in my office. I have no idea what I should have been doing. It wasn't this. And I wrote in about a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes, this synopsis of a sitcom called Dan Times 2. And it was a complete parody of the Patty Duke Show. Now, I don't even know if Dan understands what I'm talking about when I say that, but I don't know if Gary even knows what the Patty Duke Show was.
I knew of it.
Patty Duke played two cousins that were polar opposites, but played by the same actress. And hijinks ensued because, which cousin are you? You know? But in this one, Dan was cloned. And I had the theme song, which was also a parody of the Patty Duke Show.
But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
Dan likes to sleep with women. His clone turned out to be gay. And so it was like this entire parody where there was two Dans and one was gay. And it was just crazy. And it was the Patty Duke Show flipped on its side. So it's totally took this 50s sitcom and turned it into this. Anyway, and I wrote this whole plot. Here are their buddies, and they come over, and this is what they do on Friday nights, and here are their two girlfriends, and hashed out those characters, and and we even have Dan's girlfriend is more interested in the gay one, and that becomes problematic, and all this stuff, and then out of nowhere, I'm like, and there's a mad scientist who lives in the basement. Of course there is, right? Because how else could he be cloned? And so I send this thing off to a lot of people, and it's a one-page thing, and it's just a joke. And then I turn and start typing up whatever I'm supposed to be doing. And I come back, and it's not just Dan. There's 30 responses from people saying, this is the greatest thing you've ever come up with. You need to do this. And I immediately was like, no, this is a joke.
But they're cousins, identical cousins all the way. One pair of matching bookends, different as night and day.
That was the worst, and I couldn't use the word movie. I just said something that has been filmed I have ever seen, because I don't even think that qualifies as movie.
So what do you think this movie's about?
Oh, probably airport terrorism. What do you think it's about? It took 6 days to film, total. 6 days, and had a budget of $12,000.
Yeah, what are we on for carrying charges?
Please make him stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like my cat could have possibly done a better job, and he eats plastic bags. So
you have nothing to worry about.
Rethink that, please.
My father, the chief, will see that you're well cared for.
I think I felt some inspiration after watching it.
Oh, no.
Automobile in America, chromium steel in America, wire spoke wheel in America, very big deal in America.
As we're filming and going from shot to shot and so on, you know, I don't necessarily get the whole thing right away.
What are you doing?
Okay, we were trying to fix the cable, but then music started playing in the wall.
The music and the wall. Right.
Even though, you know, I've kind of, you know, I've looked at the scripts and so on, and we kind of, you know, there's some things change along the way. We change shooting order or whatever. When I go back and see the whole thing put together, especially when you add in these archives in there, it's really cool.
Sit down, sit down, sit down, you're rocking the boat.
Jump in there, Vicky.
Shut up.
Yeah, I definitely felt watching this one again that we were stylistically still figuring it out.
Okay, was I the only one that noticed that the television turned itself on and that all the lights went all demon possessed? And how is it even getting channel 62? It burnt down like 5 years ago.
That's what I said.
This is the only one that I wrote, but I think collectively we were still trying to make it a plausible show in some way.
Oh, hey everybody, did I miss anything? Oh, hey, the TV's on. What are we watching?
And then I get conned into being part of it.
Yeah, isn't he the one that built the Smurfle Tower?
Please don't call it that.
Agreed.
He said, I need you to put Jennifer in episode 3, and I need you to have a mad scientist in episode 3. Those two characters, because they're gonna be in 4.
Uh-oh. This is not good!
So you're in the show because Dan didn't want to kiss an actress.
I'm aware. I know this.
And at the time, we're like, okay, it's a one-day thing. Fine.
Master. Your hot cocoa is ready, sir.
I knew somehow in the back of my mind I had to have known it was coming. Was coming?
You eat. No, I told you I don't want to eat.
Perhaps bananas are Sammy's krypton?
On an island filled with bananas? We can only hope.
You do one episode, you do 2 episodes, and all of a sudden you're in all the episodes. Like, this is just what
Here's your call
happened.
sheet. Oh, no.
This is Jennifer's life.
Aw, Jennifer, I'm sorry. Tough break.
This is my life. then I'm on a podcast. Like, this is what happened.
And that's why you never did a second Comic-Con. I figured I got you figured
Yes.
out.
Oh, I only did one Comic-Con.
Then he must be lost in the jungle and we better go find him before it's too late.
So he just got up this morning and thought, yeah, that hat.
Knowing where my character goes later, I have a line in this that was like, I hope there's not Star Wars in this or something like that.
Okay, now they've stolen this from the Star Wars holiday special.
You told me over the phone there would be no Star Wars references.
You promised me there would be no Star Wars.
Yeah. I actually noted that as one of my favorite lines because
and
of
I'm
your character arc.
My arc is totally different.
This pointless wine drinking scene brought to you by Martinelli's Fine Apple Cider.
I have to put it out into the universe so people know I do not like Star Wars. I do not like Star Trek. Like half the time, not in this episode, but in all the ones where I'm talking about Klingons or whatever, I have no idea what I am talking about. We will just put that in the universe.
Come on, Ramona. That's a good
Screw you,
girl.
lady. Where are the cigarettes you promised me?
I'm shocked when people watch this. Maybe they're just so brain dead from watching Sammy Petrello.
Do you think he's dead?
We can only dream. We can only dream.
But people are not aware Duffy's not there. It amazes me that we get away with the fact that people aren't aware that he is physically not there.
Oh, and I can do this. Pretty cool, huh?
Okay, I really mean it this time. That wasn't me.
It was obvious being this one compared to some of the later ones, that this one had, you didn't really hit the stride until some of the later seasons.
Thanks for seeing me home.
That's the custom of the island.
No kidding.
I never kid about customs.
This one does one thing better than any other episode that we did, and that is subtitles.
Yes.
Oh, yes, I would say
Yes.
that.
The floor. What's the matter? Can't they afford chairs?
So which one of them is more difficult to understand?
Tough call.
Okay, banga banga.
There's so much different humor in the subtitle.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't know her own strength.
And now you'll be a real boy.
The guy has the My Buddy doll, which still makes me laugh. But there's more. There's the
Time for a real life version of Operation, boys.
eaten by wolves line still cracks me up. Those.
When he went on the way over to the island, the fella stopped me at a coconut tree and he said I hadn't had a bite for 3 days. You know what I did? I bit him.
Sad to see dementia set in so early.
What did he say?
He also subtitles Sammy with what he's really saying, which for me is so funny too.
See? The little one. Doogie, and it's all for me.
I love how movies of the 50s weren't discriminatory.
I mean, there were so many of them that were good, but one of my favorite ones is her doing this. No, she's like, no, blah 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 blah, blah, and it just says yes underneath it.
No,
and the parrot guys, his whole motivation is just asking people why he's wearing it.
The chief has a lot of Boy Scout badges. He must be an excellent basket weaver.
I think this language is made up.
We all want to know too. Why is this dude? Is he supposed to be a parrot or is he supposed to be a guy dressed? It's not really clear.
For 37 years, the natives have eaten nothing but bananas.
How many times you had to have Victoria record herself talking about the tie front shirt?
Long dances and snappy patter, have tuxedo, will travel.
The front knot shirt, male fashion trend since never.
There's one time where you are quite clearly laughing in the background, and I know that was a genuine laugh at what she was doing.
The front knot shirt, male fashion trend since never.
Anyway, but she had a bit, and it was her joke. She hated that shirt. Vicky was one of the writers too. Some people forget. So she watched this movie and sat through and had the right jokes for it.
I swear I'm straight, guys. This is just a look I was going for.
But it was say this in a bunch of different ways, and she did. So she did. She sang it. And she just went off. And then when she was done, she said something to me and you use every single one of those.
The front knot shirt, male fashion trend since never.
When later on, after you've forgotten about it, after the guy turns into the gorilla or whatever, they're looking for him.
They find him honest.
Has anyone tried the front knot shirt store?
Maybe you should check the tie front shirt store. And it was after you'd stop doing it, there's no more of that joke. And then it just comes back.
They're doing their impression of us right now. Hey!
These guys are completely crazy.
I do remember requesting those two characters because there was so much that had to be set up for this episode to work in the tiny amount of time that we had. It's like you already have to know who Jennifer is. Like, we cannot build who this character is. We cannot build who the Doctor is. They have to already be established for this to work.
Every now and then you would try to you'd bring up, well, the other Dan's out there. Be like, yes, you're right about that. Back to work. And poor David was on set for this one just to run in and have me go, thanks, bye. You had me write him in. And the only thing he does is, I think something went wrong. Oh, okay, fine, I'll tell him bye.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye now.
And then we didn't think of the fact that, what if no one watched 3?
Yeah.
Then who are you?
So 3 times 5 is 16?
I'm constantly having to explain what our show is to every single person I've ever known in my life. Like, even when they've watched it.
Nothing to see here. I'm just a monkey out for a midnight stroll.
Please, if you just understand one thing. Like, it's the name of the show.
Okay, Duffy, did you get it?
I think so.
Oh, and in this episode, there was still hope that Cable would come back.
So...
What?
The cable.
I remember some really long days, like
Yeah.
up there in Twain Hart.
This guy on an episode of Hoarders would be awesome.
Again, just watching this episode and watching that film.
Come along, Sammy.
Okay, but nobody ever wants me around. It's gonna take some getting used to.
The chimp in bed part.
Cut it out. Will you go to sleep?
Stop it. That's dirty.
So many references. We had Odd Couple references in there. The Linguini.
Try to keep out of Ramona's cage, will you?
That plate he's eating on is a rare bone china dinner plate from the Emperor. Never mind.
Keep out of Ramona's cage.
He just threw his
You think I am
spaghetti.
an idiot or
It's
something?
linguini.
It's amazing to me is there's that scene, and Bela Lugosi is eating bananas with the parrot guy and the chief, and you're like, what in the hell is happening right now?
You definitely had a what I would consider rabbit ears classic in this episode multiple times, but it comes back many times later, which is they stole this from blank.
Okay, now they've stolen this from the Pink Panther.
I always felt like we had two completely different shows. Two completely different shows.
So there are 2 of everything?
Wow. Yeah. You bring that up now. Yeah. Again, to me, it was seamless. We go, oh, okay. I see what he was doing, but I didn't really see what you were doing.
You dressed me up as a gorilla? Why would you do that?
You had your show, and I had my show.
That's right. Yeah.
And they just kind of like, okay, now let's put them together, and we're done. Yay, here's the show.
Typical granular.
I want to rip off your head and drink you like a smoothie.
Was the tiger picking up the pig?
A fierce lioness stalking a prey to feed her young.
Can be seen on Tuesdays only.
Bad touch, bad touch.
Bad touch, bad touch.
Do something.
Oh, good. These guys.
I don't know, 10, 15 minutes in. And I'm like, why is there not a tiki room reference in here? And then like 2 minutes later.
In the tiki room.
Where did the horn section come from?
I was just wondering where the horn section came from. I think it's the parrot guy.
Because they take the time to set up the music happening, and he's like, okay, he's using the people that are there, and they're setting it up, and then he turns around and this horn section starts blowing.
What I love on top of that is they shouldn't have taken that time, because when they go over to the bongo drums, it's like a bunch of white dudes.
Yes.
Like, one of them has like a mustache, they're just like, sup.
Why he can sing but not talk, we don't know.
We don't. That's right. He can sing, but he can't talk.
Might be an improvement.
The gorilla can sing? I'm gonna be the richest person in show business.
I also enjoyed because I love what was happening acting wise in this one. I love when she says your breath smells like Funyuns.
Your breath smells like Funyuns.
Because it's a throwback to our show, because Funyuns is just a running gag. But at that point, he's like singing this song that's supposed to be romantic and wooing her, and she has this totally like whatever, dude. I thought you did a really good line I thought it was a pretty good joke of your transition to a disco swinger is complete, young Skywalker.
and that's when she says, "You told me there'd be no Star Wars or something."
This is the costume.
Now, your transition to disco swinger is complete, young Skywalker.
How many times do I have to tell you guys?
Sorry.
I said, yeah, I did. I was like, hey, wait, that's right. At one point, I wasn't supposed to like Star Wars.
Sammy! Shouldn't have eaten that X-Lax with the bananas.
I hate to leave this.
Although, in tribute to Wyatt, when Sammy's out there talking to the crowd, we
release the bear.
Yes.
That's right. I forgot about the release the bear. That was there.
Release the bear!
By the rights of Shandor!
Release the bear!
you run late, the whole production is screwed. And so you're running late, and we're trying to figure out where you are or if you're lost. And so we're in Twainhart, and we're on the phone with you, and I give the phone to Matthew because he knows the area.
Yeah.
And he says, well, where are you? Is there anywhere? And of course, that's a stupid thing to say because it's just hours of nothing, right? and it's like hours of fields and trees and stuff. And like, he's like, well, is there any landmarks? And right then, Matthew, from my point of view, just starts busting up. And he said, okay, good. You're about an hour away. And he hangs up and he's all, Gary just passed girls, girls, girls.
May I kiss you again?
I think the plant in his hand is the only one getting action tonight.
Just like, and so along the drive, there's just nothing for about an hour. And then, like, if you've ever seen the Patrick Swayze movie Roadhouse, there's a place that belongs in that movie, and it's called Girls, Girls, Girls. And it's like this shack with all these motor homes parked around it and this cheesy sign. And you're like, why would I ever stop there? Like, if I needed to use the phone, I'll just die. And
Where'd you learn that tune?
That used to be my favorite tune in college.
No kidding.
Mine was We Like the Cars that go
One of the
boom.
tunes in our...
There was an episode where I came in and wore a T-shirt that I had specially made for Coronet Films. And it had like the Coronet Films logo and everything because we had done all these shorts of Coronet Films. And so I was all proud. I had this T-shirt made for an episode. And so I came on set and you thought that was the greatest thing. And you were saying, oh my gosh, where'd you find that? And then you started to explain to me. You were like, Coronet, they have all these educational shorts that they used to play when I was a kid in school. Like, where'd you find that T-shirt? I was like, Gary, I got this for the show.
Well, we're part of an entertainment group. We're due to entertain the boys on Guam.
As far as I've seen, the boys in
How do we get
Guam
off this
may
island?
be better off
Any
if you
ship stop
stay.
here?
The rod of Zaphroid. So there's a little bit of discussion over that. I have to ask you. So what happened to that?
What happened to it?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No one knows where it went.
Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I don't know. No clue.
Have you guys seen my rod of Zafran?
That depends. I have no idea what one is.
I know what it is.
So have you seen it?
Yeah, I have no idea. He's gonna find it randomly one day, like in a tree or something. Like it's gonna show up.
It's probably in Zontar.
Now I really want to know.
Dear Santa.
Frankly, one of the big issues, no pun intended, Wyatt's kind of a tall guy. We had to get creative with, as I recall, creative with some of the camera angles.
I found this in my yard. Based on the residue on the base, I think it was caused by some kind of explosion or something. Later tonight, I'm going to try to find any signals on mercury on it.
Fell out of a plane by accident, but we're wearing parachutes.
Yeah.
There's so much. There's so much.
Yeah, lucky thing we had on parachutes.
There's so much absurd about that statement. I don't even know where to start.
As soon as the line came up, I started laughing because it used to be my ringtone for Dan.
I wish I didn't have to wear that frog suit to the prom. Cheesecake monsters, leave me alone.
Like, so whenever Dan would call me, I'd be, who knows where I'd be, and just hear this horrible Jerry Lewis knockoff going, I need the cheesecake. I need the oh, Dan, how do I change that? I can't remember how to change that.
I need to water the candles. No, you can't have my refrigerator. I need it to breathe.
I loved having two characters that I could do pretty good impressions of in the same movie.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, I am performing a series of experiments in evolution.
Evolution? What's evolution?
The opposite of
Scientists
you.
have proven.
This was before we brought the characters out into the where I reenacted them.
Yeah.
But this is an episode where we really should have done that.
Don't mind him, Doc. He thinks you're the guy that goes around biting little kids on the neck, you know what I mean?
I preferred grown men with front-tied shirts.
What you had was a favorite line of yours at the time. It was the staring contest line.
Yes.
In all of eternity, I have never found a better staring contest partner than you, bottle of alcohol.
Was that still one of your favorites now?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I love that line.
You won't defeat me this time, bottle.
I really hate Sammy Petrello. I hate his guts. I can't take it. It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Fine thing. He knows I'm afraid to be left alone.
He's rehearsing his one-man show.
Oh, please
I wouldn't
be
think
kidding.
of letting you go home alone. I'll see you home. Well, thank you very much, but wouldn't Sammy like to come along?
See,
Oh,
I told
Sammy
you.
wouldn't like to come along. Sammy's tired.
Yeah, I remember Dan coming to me and saying the qualification of the movie, it has to have a mad scientist in it.
Feel free to try my original recipe.
But you thought it was perfect for us. I remember you saying, this is exactly what we want.
Bad. Can we just say it has my least favorite ending of anything ever? That it was all a dream.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. I want my baby back, baby back.
When does he say ribs?
I want my baby.
He never says ribs.
And kiss.
I look back on that, all of this with a lot of fondness. A lot of work. I love going back. Again, looking at this episode alone, going, wow, look at how you envisioned the shots and the framing and so on. It wasn't just me with the camera.
But it was.
You had as a group, we had ideas, right? And over time, I know for certain from episode 1 and so on, even the editing style changed, and of course with time, we all felt more comfortable with what we were trying to do, and it was a blast, and I wish we could do it some more.